In our Sunrise Smart Start, we're learning this morning of a rocket attack overnight in Afghanistan. This with just a day left until that deadline to withdraw troops.
Joined once again this morning by Washington correspondent Kelly Meyer, live in D.C. Kelly, good morning. So what steps are lawmakers in Congress taking to address the situation?
Good morning. Well, a group of Afghan veterans who serve here in Congress are going to be here on Capitol Hill today to discuss the ongoing situation. A source tells me that they want to return here to Capitol Hill to have hearings on the situation and what's happening and on the president's exit from Afghanistan, because right now all lawmakers are back home in their districts for the August recess, but there's many Republicans and some Democrats who are frustrated and concerned over the withdrawal that's set to be happening tomorrow. That will be the final day for U.S. troops to be in the region, and they want to be here on Capitol Hill to discuss how they can tackle it from here in Congress.
Yeah, heartbreaking to see what's going on over there. And what happens, the big question, what happens after tomorrow if Americans and Afghan allies can't get out in time?
And that's the big question. The Biden administration is working to get everybody out by tomorrow, and they can't guarantee safe passage after August 31st. They say that they are relying on conversations with the Taliban to ensure that they can make it to the airport and get out after U.S. troops leave. Roughly 110,000 people have been evacuated so far, and many of them are Afghan allies.
All right, Kelly, thank you so much. The White House put out a statement jointly with dozens of other countries saying it received assurances from the Taliban that all foreign nationals and eligible Afghans would be allowed to leave the country. We'll continue to follow that, of course.
Indeed. Meanwhile, cleanup efforts resuming this morning as Hurricane Ida battered the Gulf Coast over the weekend. The images here, according to the AP, one person died from damage caused by a fallen tree in Louisiana. The entire city of New Orleans still without power this morning. Some 900,000 without power statewide.
An air quality warning is still in effect in many parts of California, including the Bay Area. Heavy smoke from the Caldor wildfire in Northern California has caused officials to advise residents not to leave their homes unless they have to. Many smaller communities near Lake Tahoe have been ordered to evacuate.
James Gilbert with us. Boy, you think about all that's going on weather-wise, James. Of course, the ongoing fires out west, Hurricane Ida in the Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
And here, just a little bit of rain this morning.
I'm telling you.
We could take it.
There's a reason why I moved back home.
We're fortunate.
Yeah, definitely. We are fortunate. Overcast skies right now, a couple of scattered rain showers. Good to see. And, you know, we're no stranger to flooding. Steuben County, we haven't forgot about you. Yes, they, of course, saw that damaging flooding just a week and a half ago or so. But overcast skies right now over Rochester. A passing shower or two still going to be possible, but I think that's this morning by 8, 9 a.m. and then we're looking good, in good shape. Decent afternoon. Temperatures climb into the low 80s, and then we say goodbye to the 80s, 70s for the rest of the week. 8-day forecast at the end of the show.
All right, James, thank you. Time now to check the roads again with our Sunrise traffic. Mentioned it before, an earlier accident in Rochester, Lake Avenue at Lorimer Street. Lake is closed between Jones and Phelps. Another one just into the newsroom a few minutes ago in Penfield on Penfield Road at 5 Mile Line Road. And you see the view on the thruway here at this hour. Smooth sailing if you're heading along the 90.
Now for our continuing coverage of back to school, school districts are preparing to welcome students back for in-person learning.
Carmela Boykin live from Wheatland-Chili, where the district is hoping to help prevent the spread of COVID. Carmela, good morning.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Leah. The Wheatland-Chili School, the Wheatland-Chili Central School District begins school in just over a week, but at the start of the school year, there are some challenges to be addressed. Students will be fully in person and socially distanced without the option of remote learning. If students need to quarantine, they'll work with designated staff in the building to catch up on work. There will also be programming in place to address learning loss, but despite the challenges, the district's superintendent, Linda Quick, says she's looking forward to having students fully in person again.
We need our kids back in our hallways. They need to be here. They need to learn in person. They need the interactions that they can't get online. So it'll be nice to have everybody. And I think our teachers and our staff are excited about that too.
And some of the plans to aid in learning loss include an extended school year, summer learning programs, and after-school programs. The after-school programs will begin later on in the school year in order to give students time to adjust at the beginning of going back to school. Reporting in Scottsville, Carmela Boykin, News 8. Mark and Leah.
Carmela, thank you so much. And of course, the first day of school in Wheatland-Shiloh is coming up on September 8th.
As schools wait for detailed guidance from New York State, the virus continues to spread. More than 4,200 new cases reported across New York State. That includes 272 right here in the Finger Lakes region. Over 2,000 people in the hospital with COVID across the state. Over 50,000 vaccine doses were given out over the weekend.
We are following a string of violence that occurred over the weekend in Rochester. Rochester police releasing the names of 2 men killed in separate shootings. 4 shootings are under investigation from Saturday and early Sunday. Investigators do not believe they are connected at this time. Now, around 10 o'clock Saturday night, police responded to Flower City Park right near Primrose Street for the report of a person shot. They say 42-year-old Keegan Whitley was shot and killed. Bystanders tried to save him, but Whitley was pronounced dead at the scene. No suspects are in custody.
And around 2 o'clock Sunday morning, Rochester police responding to Monroe Avenue for the report of a person shot there. When they arrived, they found a 31-year-old Ernest Wood with a gunshot wound to the upper body. He was taken to the hospital where he was later pronounced dead. Police say there were 20 to 30 people in the area at the time of that fatal shooting. No suspects in custody. Police also say a 22-year-old man was shot on Lincoln Street in Rochester, and a 17-year-old was shot on Oneida Street over the weekend. Both victims were taken to the hospital with what are described as non-life-threatening injuries. No suspects in custody for either of these incidents. If you have any information, call 911.
Time now for a look at the GRE Morning Business Report. Americans slowing down their spending last month amid renewed concerns over the coronavirus. According to the Commerce Department, consumer spending rose about 0.3% in July compared to a revised 1.1% increase in June. On the flip side, personal income levels jumped more than 1% last month.
In Southwest, planning to slash some flights from its schedule this fall to help prepare for a busy holiday season. The airline says it will cut about 27 flights a day in September and more than 160 a day come October. Southwest says the cuts will allow it to catch up on staffing and operations stressed from this summer's travel uptick.
All right, here's what some folks will be talking about at the water cooler this morning. Sad news from Hollywood star Ed Asner, famous for his role as Lou Grant on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, has passed away. Asner dying at the age of 91. He was also known to younger generations for his role as Santa Claus in Elf and as the voice of Carl Fredricksen in Pixar's Up.
Yeah, and we were fortunate enough to talk to him a couple years ago right here in the studio.
That's
and then
right.
Before that, he was at Syracuse University, and I got to take him around and had some nice conversations. Great man, left his mark for sure.
He's certainly a Hollywood treasure for sure. James, as folks head out the door at this hour, what are they facing?
Yeah, a couple of isolated rain showers, especially really west of town. Your drivecast here, temperatures right around the low 70s, but they'll climb pretty quickly into the low 80s this afternoon, and then really that's it. Showers and thunderstorms will be done, I would say, by 9 a.m. We're pretty much coasting through the rest of the afternoon. A slow clearing of the skies. We'll have good sun Tuesday, but then Wednesday we're going to be watching Ida pass to our south, likely across even the southern tier. Could see some rain out of it, maybe brushing Yates County, Finger Lakes area, but otherwise filtered sun for most. Sunshine by Thursday, and man, those temperatures on the cooler side this week.
All right, thank you so much, and thank you for watching News 8 at Sunrise.
Our next update is coming up in 30 minutes. CBS This Morning is up next. Have a great Monday.